I'd like to show you how to use the count function in Excel. It's one of those built-in functions that I hope you'll find that can be very powerful when you have you need to count a long list of things in Excel. So let's go ahead and get started. And so just a short little topic here, how to count entries in a list. And I'm trying to go through little short videos that illustrates some key topics in Excel that we tend to use over and over again. And this is going to be example 2 in my basic math Excel file. So count values and labels in a range. And I'd encourage you to try to download this basic math.xlsx file simply by going to my J's toolbox.vt domains, navigate through toolbox and then XLS docs. There'll be a number of topics, and this particular Excel file is stored under XLS math and graphics. So you can download that file and possess the Excel right there live. And so here's my little example I'd like to illustrate. This one might be kind of easy to do visually is, oh, I'm working in an ice cream manufacturing plant, and I've got a list of flavors that I've manufactured over the last few months, and I've got a table that also tabulates the number of gallons of each flavor that I've produced. And so the objective is, well, how many flavors do I have? So let's go ahead and go to Excel. You might say, gosh, this looks so easy. I could do this just in my head by observing what I've got. So let's go to Excel first. Okay, so here's our little example problem to count the number of values and labels in a range. And this is a simple example, but imagine you have a work-related thing, or you're taking data in a lab course, or you're doing some research and you're taking data, and somehow you have achieved a tabular number of data values, kind of like the B column here, and maybe not necessarily categories. It could be something like data identification, or the index of each data you've taken. So you could have thousands and thousands of entries. Now, so you say, this is not a problem. I'm starting in row 5 and ending in row 19. So I think I've got 15 flavors to deal with here. So visually, you may have gotten the answer for this example problem already. But the first thing I want to do is show you, let's count how many values there are tabulated against these flavors. So I'm going to click this column. I'm going to go ahead and box it out, put a little border, and I'm going to say what it is, count of gallons logged. Okay, so I'm going to go to that cell. I'm going to type a formula, equals, just type out the word count, parentheses, and then light up, select the range you want to count, hit enter, and there it is, 15. No big surprise, you have counted. And so I do want to explain. Let's look at this formula. It says equals count B5 through B19. Now what that says in Excel speak is count the values, count associated with values. Let's come over here, and what I'm going to do is make a mistake first, okay? And so in this, I'm going to highlight this, and I'm put count of values logged in the flavors column. Okay, so let's repeat that exact formula, equals count. And now I'm going to light this up and hit enter. And I get the number 0. Well, that doesn't make any sense. Well, here's the explanation. The formula in Excel, count, only applies to counting numbers in your range, not text. And all of these flavors are text. They're not numbers. So let's go again. Count of flavors. That's text. Okay, and so I'm going to do my formula, equals. Now this time I'm going to type out the word count A, all one word, count A, parentheses, and light up my desired range and enter. And now I've got count of flavors is 15. And so here's what this means. Count A, that means, I think in Excel speak, that means count all. And so in other words, that particular function in Excel is going to count text and count numbers. If you have a mix of text entries and numbers all jumbled together in a column or in a range, it will count them all equally. So that's kind of a key. Let's go back and demonstrate here. Over here, gallons log. Let's do count A. And what do we get? So equals count A. And let me light up this. And I get 15 again. So it counts numbers. Count A counts numbers just like it counts text. But in general, look, when you're in the working world, when you're in the research world, when you're expecting thousands and thousands of numbers, okay, it's good to use count, equals count, because, for example, I might be getting off track, but let's say, for example, the entry for this chocolate mint was not 13,000. Somebody entered the text, no data. And so the count of gallons logged is 14 because this is a text and not a number. Let me hit restore that. I hit the undo button to restore that numerical value. Okay. Oh, okay. It's a good thing I prompted myself. Show the widely overlooked live Excel feature. Let me light up this range by selecting the range. Let's look at my bottom right-hand side of my screen. This is built in Excel. Look what Excel has done for us. It has summed the selected range right there live, and it has counted everything in the range, 15 entries, and the average value is 19,617. That's pretty cool. So when I'm working in Excel and I have some immediate things that if a number of us are huddled around the computer looking at stuff, we can use this bottom right-hand tool live in Excel to learn stuff without even typing out formulas. That can be valuable. Let's get some extra credit. Let's come down here and create and calculate the sum of gallons produced. And let's figure out the average gallons produced for each flavor. What I'm trying to do is sort of describe in words rather than just coming up with a formula, trying to describe in words before I even write the formula. Sum of gallons produced equals, it's going to be sum. And we'll light up our range, enter. There it is. That's consistent with what we observed down the bottom right. So I'll write like 29, 294,258, 294,258. Average gallons per flavor. Average. Enter. 19,617. That's the average gallon produced for each flavor. Go. And that perfectly corresponds with our little live visualization that Excel provides to us. Pretty cool, isn't it? Okay. This time I'm hoping I'm going to go right back to PowerPoint. I made it rather than blundering through. I'm going to continue my slideshow. And this is just a screenshot of what we covered. As a reminder, use count A to count up text and values, okay? And then use count equals count to count values, numerical values in Excel. So here's our takeaways. We just covered equals count and equals count A. Don't forget that to start with that equal sign when you're typing out formulas. And then also, of course, understand how and why each one are used. Each is different and each has its own advantage. So there you go. Maybe kind of a simple-minded example, but this can be very powerful when you have a long list, a long table of values that have been logged somehow, maybe by someone else, and has been provided to you in Excel, or you've copied and pasted a long list of values into Excel from some other tool, maybe like Word or Notepad or something like that. Or you've copied it from MATLAB into Excel. That's also a very common thing to do. Okay, I hope that helps. A quick review of how to use COUNT and COUNTA in Excel.